if we're conforming, then we're focused on ourselves. Mm-hmm. We're focused on everything else around us. We're not, conformity can also be a form of pride, because your pride can't get involved. Your pride can't step out of your comfort zone. I think every Christian in the church that truly is serving the Lord has kind of had that moment where that Saul to Paul, transformation happened. And they may have had that many times where they were knocked off their high horse. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the Lord, deals with us in ways that we need. And it's the ones that adjust, don't make excuses, that start creating change to the culture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, I know because I've struggled with this myself years ago now, but there's this desire within a lot of believers to want to be liked. And really, it's like having to die to your, if you want to talk about dying to yourself, that dying to your reputation. Jesus says people will hate you because of me. I didn't come to bring peace, but a sword. I'm going to divide households, because of me. The households are going to be divided because of me. And I think that there's that thing of just constantly having to lay that down and just be like, die to the desire to be liked. And we're seeing that as a result of us just wanting to be liked. Blessed are the meek. Let's just not make any waves. But as a result, look at our culture, right?
You're right.
Look at what's happening. I don't want to use dumpster fire because I do believe God is going to redeem it, but it is a bit of a dumpster fire.
Yeah, you're right. And all those people in the church who are like, well, this is the end. This is the rapture. God, is sending Jesus. Jesus is coming back. He's not coming back. I'm right now. He's not coming back for a mess. He wants to come back for a church that is ready now to go to heaven and say, you know what? We've done our part. We've done our servanthood that you commanded us to do. He's not going to come back right now and just say, oh, well, this is a mess. Let me come fix it. No, he's coming back for a church that is radical for him again, a young generation that is out leading. And that is what the Lord wants to come back for. He's not coming back to just try to patch the holes to everything, okay? Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing. And I've said this before, on Game Changers. People got to ask themselves, what are you standing in the gap for? What holes in life are you trying to patch? What are you fighting for? Because that could be a form of conformity. Well, if you're trying to patch holes that are in the world, but not trying to stand in the gap for the things that are kingdom-minded, then that is a different form of conformity in the wrong sense. So, there's a time now where we have to understand that we're the apostles in Acts. We're how I like to put it, we're Acts 29. We're the 29th chapter of Acts, basically, because, there was 28 chapters in Acts. It is our job to now carry the book of Acts today. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And, I think there's been a lot of waiting. There's a lot of people that have been like, no, I'm just going to wait for the Lord. We can look back decades ago and see there's a lot of people even, and I think, the baby boomer generation, there was even many in the Gen X generation that were like, well, Jesus is coming back, so we don't need to do anything. And my mother-in-law's talked about this a lot too. It's just we don't need to do anything, so we're just gonna kick back, and we just want to be with Jesus, and then completely separate themselves from culture. Something I want to add to kind of what you're saying, and it's something I've been seeing God doing, and for years we've been praying, God, we want to take the mountains, we want to take the 7 mountains, we want to get into culture, we want to influence culture, we want to be leaders. Well, the thing is that God is answering it, but it's not happening in a way where it's open doors, there you go, you just step in. See, the thing is this, if you look at culture, if you study culture, any movement, good or bad, it was always a minority of people that rose up and said, no, we're going to be different. We're going to go against the grain. And now, for years, the artists were especially in more conservative times, the artists were the outsiders. They were the people that were counterculture. Well, guess what, guys? Christians are now counterculture. Like conservatism is counterculture to
Yes.
the where the tide is pushing things, which is, wokeism, really like hardcore liberalism,
Yes.
militant liberalism, socialism, all of that. Well, now we are sitting on this point where we're the outsiders and we can actually speak into culture something different. My producer says, "Be righteous rebels." Yeah.
Yes.
So
I agree with you.
yeah.
It's a righteous rebellion that we're on right now, and we need to understand that. And those that are going to stay the course and say, "I'm in on that, I'm all in that," are the ones that are truly going to change the culture. The ones that are retreating. See, I think of that song, that old song, and I can't even remember because it was, my parents have heard it and listened to it. But do you remember the song "Run to the Battle"? And okay, I don't remember who wrote it, but there's an old song called "Run to the Battle," and that's and it was a Christian band, Christian artist, and I can't remember the name of the guy who did it, but basically that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, look it up. It's powerful. I mean, it'll absolutely just it motivates you. It drives you to understand, like, man, I'm running to a battle. I'm not going to be like those that retreat and just leave the battle early, Like, you think of one of those movies, like, Mel Gibson or something running to the fight. I'm not trying to retreat in this, because what is that going to do, Jeff? If we retreat, if we conform, then we're going to start seeing churches shut down, or they're going to start forcing certain bathrooms for transgenders into churches, because they're going to realize the reason the left is doing what they're doing is because there's certain people that are not standing up, and they're like, well, they're making it easy. Adolf Hitler talked about back in the day that he wasn't afraid of the church because they were too busy bickering with each other, arguing over different things, not standing up.
Yeah, not making waves.
Correct. We have to stand up. And this is why, to the people that think, well, church and politics shouldn't mix, keep it out of the church. If we do that, then you're going to see what I just described.
Yeah.
We have to right now say, no, we're not going to conform. We have to use our voice, and this is the time for that. Okay? If the church and politics aren't supposed to mix, then why in the Bible did we see the apostles going to leaders? Why did we see Jesus talking with the Pharisees? Why did we see Jesus telling the people, go tell Herod the fox? Okay? There's certain things in the world today that the church must be involved. And the Constitution was written based on God, founded on God. The founding fathers wanted the Holy Spirit and the input of God within the Constitution, within building this country. So the church and exalting God was the foundation of that, Jeff. And that is how we need to be today. It shouldn't change, okay? And that's the issue with all these wokeisms. They want to change everything. So, if Jesus would have conformed, we would be lost forever if he would have conformed. But no, in the garden, he said no. He was going to take part in that cup that he originally was asking to let pass from him. No, he said, you know what? Not my will, but your will be done. He knew what was ahead. He knew the suffering he was going to have to endure. And that's the thing too. It's not going to be easy for us to stand up. I always say this too. If you're getting hatred, you're doing something right. Okay? If you're getting pushback, hey, consider that a joy, because you're changing something. You're messing with someone's demons. Okay? You have to understand that we have to be bold in this time. And this is the season, this is the hour to do that.